Hi guys, it's time for another video, and this today's video is about denotation and connotation, or connotation and denotation. So let's get right into it. Connotation and denotation are two important methods of describing the meaning behind words and certain phrases that we use in society. So connotation and denotation are not two separate words or phrases. They are, in fact, two aspects or elements of the same word or phrase. And a good way of explaining that is to look at the coin, right? So think of connotation and denotation as two sides of the same coin. So two different meanings of the same word. And we're going to look at how that is possible. Um, the connotative meanings of a word exist together with the denotative meanings, and that's what I mean by two sides of the same coin, right? So let's take a look at what connotations are. And they represent the different types of undertones or overtones or cultural implications, right? So think of words like or phrases that are metaphoric, that have a particular meaning in one culture and a different meaning in another culture. Again, we'll get into some examples so that you can see what that means if these definitions are not helpful. Connotations refer to a wide array of positive and negative associations that most words naturally have, right? So when you say a certain word, it and one example that I give is the word cheap, where the actual word literally means um, that something is well priced. But if you say that this is a cheap computer or this is a cheap car, you what you mean to say is that the car or the computer is of a low quality, not just a very good price. Um, Connotation also refers to a wide array of positive and negative associations that most words naturally have, like the word cheap. If something is said to be cheap, then you know that it is a negative meaning to that word. And connotation is emotional and imaginative associations surrounding a word. So look at the example that I've given here, the example of Hollywood, right? Um, the name Hollywood connotes, or in other words, the connotation to the word Hollywood is things of glitz and glamour, of tinsel, of celebrity, of stardom, of fame, right? So when somebody says Hollywood, you think of a famous actor surrounded by paparazzi and people taking lots of pictures in them, maybe even a famous musician, right? So denotation, on the other word, represents the explicit or referential meaning of a word or a sign or a phrase. So in other words, it means the exact meaning, right? I'm going to change this to word, but it means the exact meaning of a word. So look at the word Hollywood, for example, right? Hollywood denotes a specific area in Los Angeles. In other words, Hollywood, if you look here, Hollywood Boulevard and Sunset Boulevard, Hollywood is an actual place, right? It's a place in Los Angeles that is very well known as the center of the American movie industry. It is a physical location, right? So connotation is the words or the meanings or the emotions that are associated with the word, where denotation is the literal definition on the literal meaning of the word, right? Here it says denotation is precise literal definition of a word that might be found in a dictionary, right? So let's look at some examples down here. So we used Hollywood as one example, where the connotation is of stardom, of glitz, of glamour, of fame. living the high life. But the denotation is of an actual physical place, an actual address in Los Angeles, where you can go and perhaps, if you're lucky enough, to become a famous actor or an actress. So, looking at more examples, the first one I gave, I said Afnan was shocked, and the word there is shocked. The connotation of the word shocked means to be negatively impacted or surprised by something, right? But the literal definition, the exact definition of being shocked, means that you have been electrocuted, right? If you look at the picture down here, all right, this individual here has been shocked, right? Um, so let's look at the other example there. Number two, the photographers pounced on the Oscar nominees. Now, the connotative meaning is that the photographers took advantage of the Oscar nominees and took lots of pictures of them. The denotation here is that photographers literally got up and jumped on top of the Oscar nominees, which would never happen, right? Why would a photographer jump on top of somebody? So again, there's two meanings there: positive, a connotation and a denotation rather. Um, and the denotation implies a negative um, meaning, right? Where somebody's jumping on top of somebody else, causing them pain. But here it just means that they took a lot of pictures, the connotation, right? This is one that I used earlier, cheap, right? With a connotation, if you say that hat looks cheap, the connotation is that the hat is of a low or poor quality, but the literal denotation is that the hat is affordable and well priced. So that's it for this week. I hope that this video has been helpful. Thank you and have a nice day.